How's it going, you big beautiful bastards? It has been 2.5 long months since I have said that. So yeah, before we get into this, it's been a hot minute, guys. I haven't made a video 2.5 months. Yeah, like I just said, that's fucking crazy. I was doing so good, consistent, and then like I lost motivation to make any kind of content, make any videos, and it just kind of went downhill from there, life-wise, everything-wise. But now we're back. We're good. We're rolling. Not gonna get too deep into any of that. I do apologize. We're now back. I'm gonna try and get back to 2 videos a week. For right now, I can guarantee 1. I can't guarantee 2 every week, but we're gonna start here. And what we're doing today, with the draft having just happened, we are doing a Caleb Williams career simulation, which is also going to turn into a Caleb Williams and Rome Odune's career simulation because they're both on the Chicago Bears. But for this one, we are just going to follow Caleb. For the at least first couple of years of their careers, we'll be following Caleb and Rome, but we will not focus on Rome because I'd imagine one of them is more than likely to leave at some point in their careers, and they're not going to be together the entire time. So what we're starting out, we do have the current Chicago Bears roster with Caleb Williams. We have DeAndre Swift, Khalil Herbert still here, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, and Rome Odunes, which is a crazy receiving core. They basically have 3 receiver ones. They do have Gerald Everett starting over Cole Kmet, which I kind of want to rotate. Offensive line looks about the same. Nothing really crazy going on here. We'll go over to the defense. I honestly don't know who they picked up on defense or anything. I'm not entirely positive. Oh, they got Kevin Byard. But with that out of the way, we will now fast forward through Caleb Williams' rookie season, and we'll see what he can do. We'll send him to the playoffs. Obviously, it's following the 2024 regular season schedule because there's no way to change the schedules and everything. As much as we have the rosters right, we were able to download. I can't get the schedules right. The schedule for next year isn't even out yet anyway. But yeah, the draft was actually really good this year. Top 4 picks were basically set in stone before the thing even started. Everyone knew Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Marvin Harrison. Joe Alt at 5, kind of expected. I mean, there was rumors they were going to trade that to Minnesota and get JJ McCarthy. Bo Nix went at 12 to Denver, and Atlanta just deciding to say fuck Kirk Cousins and draft Michael Penix Jr. And the Chicago Bears missed the playoffs. We had the 30th ranked passing offense with the #1 draft pick, which doesn't surprise me at all because it's the Chicago Bears. Take a look. Caleb Williams threw for 3,100 yards, 22 touchdowns, and 97.1 passer rating. He is not going to win any awards because I don't even think he's technically a rookie according to this. Oh, no, he is. Okay, he Offensive Rookie of the Year. With Jordan Addison is also still considered a rookie here. See, that's kind of one of the messed up things with not going through the draft like I had in the past, which I think when we jump on to the next one, which is going to be Jaden Daniels, I'm going to change that up. I might use these rosters still, or I'm just going to throw him on the Commanders and see what I can do with it from there. I don't know. It's going to be a little hit or miss. This one's a kind of figuring it out process because with this one, I obviously want them to be on the team that they're going to play on in real life, but it's kind of hard to do that going into the 2024 season, which is a season that's already happened. On top of that, like what was just shown right there is Jordan Addison was a rookie this past season, but he's not going to be this upcoming season where Caleb Williams has the potential to be Offensive Rookie of the Year. And I don't think it's possible for me to import a roster after I simulate through one season. I think the only option is to do it this way. So we'll see how we switch it up from there. We honestly might just go into the draft and we'll throw Jaden Daniels in on the Commanders. We'll see if I can get some of the players they've picked up, which I don't think they've really done much different. I didn't look at Caleb's full stat sheet there. I just realized that. I just kind of looked at that, saw he won Offensive Rookie of the Year, and we rolled through it. All right, so in the past season, he did have 3,100 yards, 22 touchdowns, 11 picks. He was sacked 27 times, 67% completion percentage, and yeah, 97.1 passer rating. So now we go into year 2 of Caleb Williams, whereas we look at the team here, everything basically remains the same. Still have DeAndre Swift. Gerald Everett is back at tight end 1, which is fine. DJ Moore. Keenan Allen still has his X factor. Rome Odunes is up to an 81. So him and Caleb have progressed to the same overall, but Rome was a 79 and Caleb, I think, was a 75 when we went into that season. So he is progressing well, which is to be expected. He's probably going to do great in the league. But back to the draft. Steelers end up getting Troy Fautanu. They also get Roman Wilson, Zach Frazier. They had a pretty good draft altogether. The Eagles somehow stole Quinion Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, which I don't even know how people let that happen. The Bills basically decided that they really are Patrick Mahomes' son, and they basically handed them Malik Neighbors. I still can't get over the Falcons drafting Penix. I just feel like this team's in shambles because they basically just threw Kirk Cousins out the window. Like, Kirk came there because Minnesota was talking about drafting a quarterback, so he was like, man, I really don't want to deal with that. And then Atlanta doesn't even tell him, and they draft a quarterback. But we're in the playoffs. You can see CeeDee Lamb right there. The Cowboys went 9-8. We went 10-7 and won the division, so we do get to play a playoff game. 28th rated passing offense. So passing offense still is not great. Rushing rushing offense was good. Defense was better, and 11th rated total offense. Caleb, 3,200 yards, 31 touchdowns, a 116 passer rating. Only 5 interceptions this season for him, 72% completion percentage. There's Tyson Bagent still around. He did get in for a play. 116 passer rating is pretty damn good for him in his second season. Only sacked 19 times this year. That's a big step up. Obviously, I don't think he's going to win anything. Weekly awards, that's a defensive player. Doesn't really matter to me. That's NFL records, not what I wanted. Yearly awards, Caleb Williams was actually 9th in MVP voting, which is pretty crazy. He was above CJ Stroud. Jaden Daniels was above him. There's Dak, Herbert, Joe Burrow, Jalen Hurts, Tua, Lamar, and Patty Mahomes as your league MVP. And now we get an opportunity to see him play for the first time as Dallas has to come into Ford Field. When was the last? No, they got one with Trubisky. That team went like 12-4. They had to have had a home playoff game. Thinking about it too, there's some historical sims I obviously need to catch up on. Calvin Johnson was one. Someone requested Brett Favre. There's just some guys I got to do as we're down 14-6. 14-13. Okay, we're back in the lead. But yeah, there's some guys I got to get to. I want to get these draft players out of the way before I get too far into that. Caleb Williams has us up 8 right now. We're halfway through the 4th. He's driving downfield, put the icing on the cake, baby, and that's it. That's game. We're going to win in the wild card round. Caleb Williams is moving on to the divisional round in his second year and his first year in the playoffs. I actually, like, thinking about that, I wouldn't be too surprised if they don't make the playoffs this year. They struggle a little bit. It's growing pains for Caleb, but also Caleb he's a stud. Much as people want to clown him, he paints his nails, his phone case is pink, he cried on his mom's shoulder, cool. He's a dog. 16 for 22 for 259, a touchdown, a 126.9 passer rating. And just like that, we're going on to the divisional round where we were a division winner, so we could potentially get another home playoff game. It just depends on what seed we were. And no, we have to go into Seattle. Okay. You see K9's up to a 93 overall. And just like that, we get to go face a 12th man. I don't know what Seattle Stadium is called. What is Seattle Stadium called? Hold up. Lumen Field. Huh. I honestly would have never guessed that. Not even a thought in my head said that. Not a great start. We're down 14 here in the second. We're down 21 in the second. Caleb got him downfield and couldn't score. We're down 18. Can't score again. Now we're down 25. Yeah, it's over. That's it. Caleb Williams is going home. We end up losing the game pretty damn badly. It's an 18-point loss to Seattle in Seattle. Caleb Williams couldn't take the noise. Geno Smith threw 369 and 4 touchdowns. Caleb had 301 and 3 touchdowns. He didn't even throw any picks. We just struggled. They just couldn't put the ball in the end zone. K9 had 2 touchdowns, 79 rushing. Receiving wise, you can see DK led the game. JSN with 99. Romo Dunes was our leading. Actually, Keenan Allen was our leading receiver. Keenan also had 2 touchdowns. Romo had 79 yards for no touchdowns. DJ had 64 yards for a touchdown, but it wasn't enough. So just like that, we go home, back to Chicago, back to the drawing board. Maybe we should fire Matt Eberflus and just restart. That's just my opinion. Going into year 3, Caleb is now up to an 85. You can see DeAndre Swift is still a 90. DJ Moore has taken the receiver 1 spot back from Keenan Allen, who has regressed down to an 88 overall. He also lost his X factor and went from superstar to star dev in the matter of a season. So Romo Dunes is now an 82. He's probably sneaking up on Caleb's spot here as well. Cole Kmet is an 84 overall. Oh, we lost Gerald Everett. Okay, the offensive line still the same. Defensively, basically the same team. Nothing has really changed. I think coming up, I want to do a whole sim of like next season once I have the opportunity to, but I don't know how I probably will have to wait for the new Madden to come out to do that. Once the next Madden comes out, I want to do a simulation of the whole season week by week, follow stats, who's doing what. It'd be a longer video, but we'll go week by week and like look at who did what, look at the players of the week, look at who had some crazy stats from that week. I think it'd be cool just to like simulate like that and do that whole thing. Here in year 3, we are back to typical Chicago fashion where we ended up going 6-10-1. We had a tie with the Lions, 4th rated rushing offense, and everything else was in the red. So the defense declined, the offense declined, everything was just bad. Caleb had 3,273 yards for 31 touchdowns, only 3 interceptions, so a 118.8 pass rating. We haven't looked at our receivers yet. DJ Moore was the leading receiver with 817 and 8 touchdowns. Keenan Allen had 758 and 6 touchdowns. Romo Dunes had 621 and 6 touchdowns. So Rome isn't getting as much love as you'd expect him to, but I'd imagine Caleb isn't anywhere on this list. Caleb Williams actually was 7th in MVP voting. Bo Nix is 8th. Bo Nix in Denver. Okay, Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott, Justin Herbert, Lamar, Patrick Mahomes, and Joe Burrow is your MVP. And now we move on to year 4, where I'm imagining Matt Eberflus is getting to the point where he's on thin ice after 2 of 3 seasons with Caleb Williams being a bust like that. Sure, that middle sophomore season, he had a good year, but 2 bad years compared to 1 good year where you don't win the Super Bowl. I would rather look at other options. I also am a hater, so that's just me. Now going into year 4, Caleb Williams is up to an 88. We do still have DeAndre Swift at a 91. This is going to be a big year for Rome Odunze as Keenan Allen has moved on and went somewhere else. DJ Moore is still receiver 1. Cole Kmet is still our starting tight end. As I said though, I think Matt Eberflus is starting to walk on thin ice. We'll simulate to the playoffs in year 4. I am half expecting, if we don't make the playoffs, to see a coach firing screen. We're the goddamn 1 seed. I don't know how we got here. We have the worst rated passing offense in the league, but DeAndre Swift cooked. The defense was number 1 in the league. Yep, we're doing it. Only 3,000 yards and 23 touchdowns out of Caleb Williams to 4 INTs, 110 passer rating. He really isn't doing much, but Caleb Williams has 851 yards rushing. It's because this is Justin Fields' offense. That's the problem here. Imagine doing all of that and he's not even in the MVP race. DJ Moore, number 1 receiver on the team, 935 and 6 touchdowns. Rome Odunze had 599 and 4 touchdowns. Yeah, I should really think we need to change something offensively here because Caleb should not be running the ball like that. We'll go to next week and we're back in the divisional round and we're playing Philly. Philly's got to come to us. Jalen Hurts is a 99 overall. I've noticed in doing these sims, we never have good luck as the number 1 seed, so we'll see what happens as they do take an early lead. Nice early lead. Okay, 4-point lead, and now they blow the lead and are down by 3. It's tie game at half, so it's basically 0-0. Now they're down 7 here in the 3rd. Tie game. We're going to get an opportunity to see him play here no matter what Philly does on this drive. Philly does score, so now we're going to get to see Caleb Williams with an opportunity to drive it down the field, score a touchdown, and only tie the game. We won't get to see him win. You see him coming out in the shotgun. I'm pretty sure that's Cole Kmet and DeAndre Swift lined up next to him. I don't know who. Handoff to Swift, and that's going to be an offensive holding flag, I'm assuming, on the very first play that we get to see, and it is holding offense. So now it's 1st and 18. We are once again going to hand it off to Swift, and that it's got to be Jalen Carter running up the middle like that. That's exactly who that is. And now Jalen Carter has his X Factor active. That's a scary sight to see. Caleb Williams in the shotgun on a 2nd and 19, hands it off again. This team, we are the most brain-dead offense I've ever seen. How are we 14-3? And now it's 3rd and 16, and let's send Caleb Williams out here in an empty set. He is dropping back to throw. He has all day back there. He actually delivered. Oh my God, he got the first down. You know what? Maybe they are smart. Maybe that's the plan all along. Put Caleb in 3rd and long and he'll figure it out. Now he's dropping back to throw once again over the middle of the field. He finds his receiver in a tight window. That's Rome. Caleb once again in the shotgun. Swift to his left. He's dropping back to throw. He's got time. He actually rolls out on the run. Hits DeAndre Swift for a nice gain of 7 there. Biggest moment of his career so far as we're only 4 years in. He's dropping back to throw. Quickly gets it out. Finds Short again, who's the 3rd or 4th string receiver. Maybe backup tight end. I can't remember which one he is. Judging by where he's lined up here, he's a 3rd string receiver. DJ Moore is all by himself out to the left. They got trips out to the right. Caleb is dropping back to throw, under 2 minutes to go. Once again in the middle to Short. He's liking the 3rd string receiver here. There's Devin White. I forgot he was an Eagle. Caleb once again dropping back to throw. Has time towards the end. Oh, okay. I was going to say towards the end zone, but it was inside the 10. That's DJ Moore that gets them down to the 10. Nearing the minute mark, he's dropping back to throw again. Got time towards the end zone. Rome gets laid out, but he gets them inside the 5 down to the 2. They're just running the clock here too. In this one, they could honestly hand it off here from the 2. Caleb comes out in the shotgun though, as he has been this whole drive. It's actually a rollout. He's got Swift wide open and he finds Rome in the end zone. So now with 35 seconds left, the defense needs to make a big stop to force OT, and they do, and we're in overtime. Eagles get the ball first. Defense needs to come up. Defense lets them go right down the field and score. So now Caleb's got to do it again. In the shotgun, Swift in the backfield with him. Caleb is dropping back to throw. He rolls out, gets around the sack on the run, finds Cole Kmet. He's at 308 and 2 touchdowns with 1 INT. Now a 2nd and 2. Caleb is in the shotgun, and DeAndre Swift false starts. In the shotgun, empty backfield, dropping back to throw. Caleb has time. He finds Short up a seam. What a throw. Once again in an empty backfield. Caleb's dropping back to throw. He's got time. He's actually going to step up and run with open field and get a gain of 7. 7 rushes for 30 yards. Calling a little audible, putting himself in an empty back set. He's got no one back there with him. He is going to drop back to throw. He's got time. Cole Kmet underneath for a quick, easy throw for a first down. 45 seconds left in the first overtime. He is moving someone in motion. He's dropping back to throw again. He's got time. That is up the seam. Again, it is short. Down inside the 5 to the 3. Caleb's got 370 and 2 touchdowns. He is cooking right now. 10 seconds left in the first overtime. He's got Swift in the backfield. He's going to drop back to throw, and that was an offensive lineman. I don't know why we're throwing that, but he couldn't hold on. He got laid out going across the middle. Dropping back to throw once again towards the end zone. DJ Moore gets it, and that is a tie ball game here in overtime. Defense needs to make a stop. It's a 4th and 14. The Philadelphia Eagles end up kicking a field goal on that drive and win the game 41-38. Caleb tried his best. Jalen Hurts outdid him. Both quarterbacks, honestly, pretty similar games. Caleb had the better game all around, but Jalen ends up walking away with the win 41-38. And now we're on to year 5, where I'd imagine the team picked up his 5th-year option, so we are going to have another year of Caleb in Chicago. He is also their franchise quarterback that has led them to the divisional round twice now. Going into year 5, again, we keep the same central skills players and the same quarterback. Caleb's still a 90. Romo Dunes is up to an 86. DeAndre Swift is a 90. DJ Moore is an 89. We still have Cole Kmet. The offensive line has changed a little bit with the 2 guys on the left side. But other than that, we're still keeping the same core that has gotten us to 2 divisional round playoff games. Sure, we've lost them both, but we've been there twice. So now we simulate to the playoffs in year 5. What else is going on in sports right now? The NBA playoffs are happening right now. Anthony Edwards is a dog. He just beat Denver in game 1. Well, the Timberwolves just beat Denver, but Ant had like 43. I think it's Celtics and Knicks maybe, or is it No, it's Celtics and Cavs, and then it's Knicks and... Knicks and Pacers. I still keep rocking with, I keep saying OKC versus Boston in the finals. The NHL, I'm a little out of the loop, but Connor McDavid used to play hockey for in the town I grew up in, so I hope the Oilers go all the way. We're back in the playoffs. We won the division at 9-8. Puka Nacua is up to a 95 overall with an X factor, which is wild. Caleb Williams, again, his stats are not good. I'm changing the schemes after this season because they would not be using Caleb Williams like this. 21 touchdowns, 4 INTs, only 174 yards a game. That's a Justin Fields stat line. We'll run this playoff game real quick. LA has to come into Soldier Field despite us being 9-8 and then being 12-5. They have Derek Stingley Jr. Now that's not great for us. Justin Fields is a starting quarterback. Oh my God. As I was saying, that's a Justin Fields stat line. I just saw it. Justin Fields is a starting quarterback of this team. Oh, don't let him score. Oh, they let him score. Okay, Caleb's got to do something here. So we clocked in here on a 3rd and 16 as they're down 3. Caleb's dropping back to pass. We're under 2 minutes to go. That is a good play to get them into a 4th and manageable. He's only got 182 yards and a touchdown. See, we're running a Justin Fields offense with Caleb Williams at quarterback. This is a problem. Caleb's dropping back to throw 4th and 3. Romo Dunes was wide open, running a drag, and he gets hit as he throws, and that's going to do it. Justin Fields just sent us home. Why? Throw it right here. Throw him the ball, and that's the game. So Justin Fields does end up sending us home 290. He outplayed Caleb by a mile. 291 and 2 touchdowns to 182 and a touchdown. We go home. We're going into year 6. Caleb could potentially be a free agent. I highly doubt it. Going into year 6, as I said, Caleb is obviously still here. He's a 92 overall. DeAndre Swift is an 88. Romo Dunes has now stepped into that receiver 1 position. DJ Moore is now receiver 2 at an 88. Short is still here at receiver 3. We still have Cole Kmet. And we're going to change the schemes real quick because I'm tired of Caleb Williams not being used like Caleb Williams. We're actually going to try Kevin Stefanski. Let's rock with Cleveland and see if this can actually add some more numbers to Caleb Williams' game as we simulate through year 6 here. Honestly, Cleveland might not be the best one, but it fits a good scheme for us, which was West Coast zone run. A lot of the times when I change those, I don't look too deeply into it. I go to the highest percentage as to which one fits, and then I pick a playbook that fits with that, which most of the time happens to be Kansas City, but also when we're doing quarterbacks to just give them the Chiefs playbook is cheating. So changing the scheme definitely helped with the passing ratings and some numbers a little bit, but we still missed the playoffs. We went 8-9. We still do have Matt Eberflus. I can't believe he's been employed here for the first 6 seasons of Caleb's career. Caleb had his best season so far, 3,800 yards, 37 touchdowns, a 112 pass rating, 11 picks, which is up from a few years ago. DJ Moore was still the team's leading receiver with 948 and 14 touchdowns. Rome did have his best season as well with 81 catches, 936 and 9 touchdowns. Real quick, while we're here, I got to remember to take a look at Caleb's contract that he's under. He ended up re-signing on a 5-year deal where he is, he's not the highest paid quarterback, but he is going to be a $40 million a year quarterback at year 3 of this contract. We'll see if he ended up winning any awards. He's all the way down at 9th for the season that he had in MVP voting, which isn't bad, but Lamar, Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, your normal 3 that round out the MVP voting. So now that we know we're locked up here until year 10, let's fast forward and move on, or at least year 11, I guess. Year 10 would be his last year under contract. Now going into year 7, Caleb is up to a 94. DeAndre Swift has regressed all the way to an 84. Romo Dunes is now an 88. DJ Moore is an 86. We have drafted a new receiver here in Whitfield. He's a 76 overall with a hidden dev trait. Cole Kmet is up to an 87. He somehow unlocked superstar dev. How old is Cole Kmet at this point? He's not that old, is he? He's 30. Okay, he's getting up there. What's Caleb's also damn, Cole Kmet's only been in the league for like 3 years. I didn't even realize that. That's crazy. But yeah, now we'll send him to the playoffs here in year 7. We'll see what happens. That just blew my mind. I thought Cole Kmet had been around for a minute. There it is. The Matt Eberflus experiment has finally ended. We will sim on to next season just so that it hires its own coach, changes up their schemes, does whatever. We'll jump back into Chicago after that. We'll take a look at how Caleb did this past season. Probably take a look at how Rome and them did as well. New Chicago Bears head coach is Jack Parker, who kind of looks like Big Ben if he started doing crack. Before we jump into this, I want to look at what schemes he's rocking with. I clicked on the wrong thing. Why do we have Jack Parker or Zach? I was really hoping the defensive coordinator's last name was Parker too. Looking at Jack's schemes, he runs Minnesota offense and defense, West Coast zone run, which is what we were in to begin with, so that works for me. It's a new offensive playbook to try out for Caleb, and one that's actually pretty good when you look at Justin Jefferson. Kirk is usually putting up pretty good numbers, and we've lost DJ Moore, but we got Kyle Pitts. What the fuck? Okay, yeah, Caleb Williams, 95 overall. DeAndre Swift is down to an 80. We now have Burrell here at starting running back. Romo Dunes is still receiver 1 at a 90. Whitfield is now up to receiver 2 with the departure of DJ Moore, and we got a 98 overall Kyle Pitts somehow. You better cook. This team better use Kyle Pitts more than Atlanta ever has. In our first year with the new head coach, we do make the playoffs. We had the 4th rated passing offense. Caleb's best season so far rating wise, 16th rated total offense. We're going to go into Arizona here in the opening round. First season he's broken 4,000 yards, 4,300 yards, 28 touchdowns, 4 picks, 73% completion percentage, a 109 passer rating. We'll take a look at the yearly awards. He is not MVP. He's actually all the way down in 10th. JJ McCarthy is here in 6th. Take a look real quick at our receiver stats. Romo Dunes, 125 catches for 1,285 yards and 6 touchdowns. Kyle Pitts may have caught more touchdowns in this season than he has his entire career in Atlanta. 71 catches, though, for 781 and 9 touchdowns for Pitts. And just like that, we are in the wild card round. We were playing the Arizona Cardinals. Miles Ball is their best player. They're going to probably still have Kyler, right? Oh, they have AR-15. Oh, early lead. Good start up 3-0, 6-0, and they got a field goal. That's good. I'll take that. Going into the 4th, we got a 10-point lead. The defense forces a turnover. The offense scores again. That's a 17-point game. They make it a 24-point game, and Caleb Williams is moving on to the divisional round. 230 and 2 touchdowns out of him, 211 and 2 touchdowns out of AR, and just like that, we're back in the divisional round, but we have not been able to get past this point in his career. And now we got to go into Lambeau Field and play the Green Bay Packers, divisional rival. They still have Josh Jacobs. Okay, they still have Rashawn Gary as well. I don't know who they have at quarterback. Actually, I'm assuming it's probably still Jordan Love, right? It is still Jordan Love. That makes sense. Down 4 going into the half. Now we're down 11. We let them score. The defense can't make a stop. It is a 18-point game. The offense can't score, and we're going home in the divisional round once again. Caleb Williams just can't get over that hump. He can't get past this point. He threw 264 and 2 touchdowns. Jay Love threw 238 and 3 touchdowns, and that was enough to beat us and put us away and send us home once again in the divisional round. 2 years left on Caleb's contract. We're going to fast forward on to year 9, see if anything changes with this team. We obviously have a new head coach that's doing a pretty good job to get us to the divisional round in his first season. Bo Nix is apparently cooking. I just wanted to look at this. Bo Nix is the 1 seed in Denver. Green Bay was the 1 seed. As we go into year 9, you can see Caleb is still a 95. Burrell is still the running back at an 85. Romo Dunes is still receiver 1, who I'm surprised he has been here this long into his career. Just to double check. This is not yet. Year 9, he's 30 now. Kyle Pitts is still here at a 97. Whitfield is still receiver 2. Receiver 3 is Rashad Bateman. Okay, not a bad receiving core there. I also just realized that I've called Soldier Field Ford Field about 3 or 4 times now. That's my bad. We went 16-1. The number one seeds, the number 2 rated passing offense, 1 total, number 2 defense. We're the best team in football. Holy shit. Caleb threw 4,600 yards, 36 touchdowns, 7 INTs, a 114 passer rating. My guess is that is your league MVP. Fuck you, JJ McCarthy. He got second. I don't know how he, yeah, 16-1, that many yards, that many touchdowns, you know, best team in the league, but let's give the MVP to JJ McCarthy. Oh, perfect. We get to play JJ in the first round. Let's send him home, or second round, I guess, because we had the bye. They didn't. They still have Jefferson and Addison, who are both 99 overalls. Okay, maybe we're cooked. Coming out of the half, we're down 10. Bad start. They need to score right here. They do. Caleb gets him in the end zone. Now the defense that was number 2 in the league needs to make a stop, and they just let him go right down the field. Caleb's going to do it right back, though. Caleb does, and now the defense, oh my God, what is going on right now? Caleb gets him in again. We have all 3 timeouts. Defense needs to make a stop here on a 3rd and 3. We'll watch it. Why not? There's MVP JJ McCarthy, Addison, and Jefferson out to the left. They need to make 1 stop, and they let Jordan Addison sit down wide open, and that's going to be the game. We go 16-1 just to lose to JJ McCarthy in the first round. Yeah, Caleb threw 350 and 3 touchdowns. JJ threw 275 and 2 touchdowns. There was nothing more he could have done. He tried. Bateman was our leading receiver with 11 catches for 142 and 2 touchdowns. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Rome is actually the bottom of our top 4 targets. How'd they go from 16-1 in the 1 seed to lose? I mean, I guess, JJ McCarthy was the MVP, but as an Ohio State fan, I hate that man. I can hate him all I want, but he owns my team. We now go into the last year of his contract in Chicago, year 10. He has finally unlocked an X Factor at a 97. Burrell has unlocked Star Dev. Rome has actually regressed down to an 87. Whitfield regressed a little bit too. Pitts got his X Factor back. And we still have Bateman, but the entire receiving core has actually regressed a little bit. Caleb got better though, and he got an X Factor, so now we should cook. This is his last year in Chicago, though. He could very well leave after this season. If he follows the Chicago quarterback route, he's going to end up in Pittsburgh after this. That's a crazy fall off from going at 16-1 a year ago to 9-8, but we had the 11th rated passing offense, 24. We just had we were regular season merchants last year. They apparently had the easiest schedule in football. Caleb ended up throwing 3,950 yards for 22 touchdowns, 10 picks, a 99 passer rating, 70% completion percentage, so not his best year. A big fall off from last season. Patrick Mahomes is a Raider. The JJ McCarthy's 5th in voting, and Caleb Williams is nowhere to be found. Brock Purdy, still the starting quarterback in San Fran. They don't have CMC. Jake Moody is on their top players list. That's okay. Yep, Jake Moody. We actually have a nice lead here in the wild card round. My issue here is we can win wild card games, but once we get to the divisional round, we fall apart. And 34-7 is going to be your final score. Caleb Williams back to the divisional round, but can he actually win? 279 and a touchdown for him. Brock Purdy got destroyed by the Chicago defense. Only 108 and 1 touchdown with a 34% completion percentage. They still have Bryce Young, so we get the 2023 number 1 overall pick against the 2024 number 1 overall pick in the divisional round. We have Kyle Pitts. They have Junior Man. No idea who that is, but they still have Cam Ikwanu. That's how you say it. I struggle to say that name. It's so hard to say while you're just rambling and going fast. God, can we make it past the divisional round once? Maybe once in his career? It's been 10 years. We've made it here probably 5 times, and we lose here every time. 2 touchdown game here in the 4th. We're good. We're good. It's over. We're going to the NFC Championship game. 31-10, the final score. The Chicago Bears. Caleb Williams ends up throwing 288 and 3 touchdowns. Bryce Young had 157 and no touchdowns. I feel like we're getting carried by the defense here. Like the defense is holding these quarterbacks to nothing. Oh, the Dallas Cowboys. The NFC's kryptonite every time I do this. Cowboys. So you still got CD, Trayvon, and Micah Parsons in their top 3. Kyle Pitts, Spencer Hayden, Caleb Williams is our number 1 player, and now he has an opportunity for the first time in his career in his last year, potentially in Chicago, to take this team to a Super Bowl that they haven't been to since they played the Colts in, what, 07? I can't remember. I just remember Devin Hester returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown. We score first. We scored twice. We're only up 3. Defense needs to stop, and what the hell? As I'm saying, defense needs to make a stop, but we let CeeDee Lamb go 87 yards. So now in the NFC Championship game, biggest game of Caleb's career, we get an opportunity to see him play and try and clutch up and take this lead back. So we're still early in the 4th here, so they probably will run the ball a little bit in the I form, hands it off to Burrell. He ends up getting 3. That looked like more like a yard to me, but he ended up getting 3. Caleb comes out under center again. Kyle Pitts out to his right. I didn't see which side Rome was on. He is actually running a bootleg. He finds Pitts open in the flat, who has space. Couldn't get around the one tackle, but does get a first down. He's got 194 for 2 touchdowns. Kyle Pitts has 4 catches for 38. Comes out under center once again. Kyle Pitts out to his left. Romo Dunes, it looks like, is up at the top of the screen. He's dropping back to throw. No time, and he gets sacked by Micah Parsons. That's the first time he's been sacked all game, and that's the worst time to take a 14-yard loss. But now we come out in the I form, and they're just going to, okay, he is throwing it. Thank God. Sits down in the middle, almost got picked off, and now it's a 3rd and 24. We're throwing the biggest game of his career. He's dropping back to throw. He's got time. He doesn't have time. He's actually got it. Oh, Caleb, you were so much better off just running the goddamn ball. Well, now the defense needs to stop them from scoring here, or else the game's over. Yeah, they couldn't do it. Now we're down 11. They give them the ball right back, and we're going home in the NFC Championship game. We got to see him try, and he failed pretty bad. 201 and 2 touchdowns, 333 and 4 touchdowns for Mitchell Whitworth. Yeah, the defense carried us to that point, and the offense couldn't put up enough points against Dallas. So following that season, we do know he's going into free agency now. He has the opportunity to get out of Chicago, which I doubt it. He's a franchise quarterback. He was already getting paid $47 million for last season. He'll probably just get paid more for the next 5. As expected, Caleb Williams is still here. He did lose his X Factor, though, after only 1 season with it. We're now in year 11. We'll take a look at his new contract that I'm imagining is another 5-year deal worth roughly 40-something million a year. It's actually a 3-year deal worth 50 to 60 million a year. Okay, that's a lot of money. Rome is regressed down to an 84. What was it? Whitland or something? I can't remember what receiver 2 was, but he is gone. We now have Cleveland here at receiver 2. Rashad Bateman is also gone. We have Waller here at receiver 3. Kyle Pitts is thankfully still here. Also lost his X Factor. So him and Caleb basically got rent an X Factor for a season, and now they're both gone. And now we know we're here till year 14. Year 14 will be his next chance to go into free agency. We'll see what happens here. He's got 3 more years. I mean, Jack Parker's been cooking as a coach. They made the playoffs every year. Now it's time for a revenge game. 10-7. We're back in the wild card round. You can see we had the number 8 rated passing offense, and we got to go into Dallas. We had a better record than them this season. Caleb had 4,000 yards once again, 27 touchdowns to 3 picks, a 106 passer rating, 70% completion percentage. Obviously not going to be MVP, I don't think. Nope, there's Joe Burrow winning that. Caleb Williams, once again, isn't even on the list. Oh, yeah, he is. He's in 9th. Wow, I just completely skimmed past the name Williams, but he had a good season. I mean, 10-7. They didn't win the division. Detroit won the division. Okay, that makes sense. And so hopefully we can beat Dallas this time. Micah Parsons is still here. They have Ralph Porter at tight end, CeeDee Lamb, Caleb, Kyle Pitts, Spencer Hayden. Our big 3, they've been the same for like 3 or 4 seasons in a row now. We've managed 3 field goals. Okay, it's a 4-point game. Hold on. They turned it over. Never mind. Defense needs to make a stop here. It is a 4-point game. They're letting them go right down the field, and that is game. We lose 13-9. Dallas beats us once again. We didn't even score a touchdown. Caleb threw 220, no touchdowns. We had 3 field goals. They had 1 touchdown and 2 field goals. It was a very weirdly scored game compared to the last time they played. And just like that, we're on to the 12th year. And as we go into year 12, the regression is finally hit. He dropped from a 97 to a 94. I was really thinking he was going to hit a 99, though, after he got his X Factor, but it just didn't work that way. The entire team has changed. Romo Dunes is finally gone. Cleveland jumps to receiver 1. We now have Waller, who was receiver 3, at receiver 2. We have Hopkins now at receiver 3. Parsons at running back, as Burrell is now gone, but we still got Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts is just along for the ride. Oh, okay. With his regression came a heavy fall off of the whole team. We went 5-12, but the number 4 rated passing offense. Caleb threw 4,300 yards, 29 touchdowns, a 101 passer rating. He had 10 interceptions on 68% completion percentage, and he's probably not MVP. It's JJ McCarthy again. If he plays like this, I want to do his sim. And now we move into the last year of his 3-year extension he signed, which is year 13, and following this year, he has another opportunity to leave Chicago and maybe go on one final run with another team. Here in year 13, we lost another 2 overalls. He's down to a 92. We have an X Factor 77 overall running back in Brooks. Cleveland is still receiver 1. Waller is still receiver 2. Hopkins is still receiver 3. And Kyle Pitts is finally gone. So now we have Bentley, an 80 overall tight end. The skills positions did not get any better other than the fact Cleveland went up with like 4 overall. So I don't expect there to be too much difference in this team this season from the team that went 5-12 the year before. Yeah, okay, just prove me wrong. Go 15-2, be the number 1 seed. Yeah, yeah, it's just something about his contract years. He goes crazy. 4,300 yards, 35 touchdowns to 1 interception, a 115 passer rating. Give this man the MVP, and he's not the MVP. He's in 3rd. Okay, yeah, why not? Madden sucks. On to the divisional round. Who are we playing? Please don't be Dallas. It's Minnesota. Good. JJ McCarthy, you're going down the shithole. JJ Jordan Addison, they have Zach Wilson at tight end. Somewhere along the way, Zach Wilson changed skin colors and positions, and he became game at tight end. We're up 6. Defense needs to stop. They do. Caleb going down the field, just ice the game out. Close it out. Close it out. That's game over. We're going back to the NFC Championship game. Caleb threw 315 and a touchdown. He got his revenge on JJ, who threw 200 and a touchdown. And now we play the New York Giants at Soldier Field in Chicago. Caleb Williams, Spencer Hayden, and now Emmett Brooks, the running back with the X Factor, who's not even that high of an overall, are in our top 3. They have Justin Potter, Jeremiah Crowder, and Alani Lippett. So no real players left in the top 3 for the Giants. No Kayvon Thibodeau. None of those guys that we'd know. Saquon's obviously already gone. And it's snowing in Chicago for the playoff game. Please, Caleb, I need you to cook. Caleb threw a pick, and that's probably going to end the game. Wait, we got one back? Hold on. So we're getting towards the end of the game. It's not going good, but it's a snowy game in Chicago, so I want to watch. We're down 10 with 2 minutes, 37 seconds left. We have all 3 timeouts, so we do need to score, but we need to score quick. That's not a play that's going to help you score quick. In the shotgun, he's dropping back to throw. Once again, a quick throw into tight coverage brings up a 4th down. So 4th and inches, 2 minutes, 5 seconds left when he snaps it. He's just throwing these quick passes. These aren't doing us any good. We need to get down the field quick. Coming out of the 2-minute warning, Caleb comes out in an empty back set here in the snow. He's going to drop back to throw. Obviously, he has no choice. He's rolling out to his right. He chucks it up downfield, and it's caught, but he went out of bounds. He didn't catch it inbounds. Dropping back to throw again on 2nd and 10. He's got all day back there. He's going to step up, and he ends up throwing it away. From the shotgun, dropping back to throw once again. He doesn't have time. He lost all the time, and now it's 4th and 21. Once again in the NFC Championship game, we're going to fall short. There's nothing he can do here on a 4th and 21. He could probably get the first, but with the time left, he doesn't get the first anyway. It doesn't matter. That's the game. We lose. Back into free agency goes Caleb Williams. They do get the ball back, but they're down 13. They end up scoring with 3 seconds left, and the game's over. That was on a Hail Mary, too, is the craziest part. 319 and 3 touchdowns. I honestly was like 250 and 2 touchdowns, but it got stat padded on a last-second Hail Mary that meant nothing. On to your 14, where he could potentially leave Chicago. He could re-sign here for as long as he really wants to. He's probably going to be around a 90 with the way he's regressing. He might be under a 90 going into this next season, but we've probably only got about 4 or 5 years left. He's back. He's a 92 overall still. He's got his X Factor back too all of a sudden. Stats and contracts here in year 14. He is re-signed on a 1-year, $55 million contract. That's a crazy contract, actually. Brooks, the X Factor running back, is up to an 80. Cleveland got up to star dev, but is an 87. We now have a new receiver 2 in Edwards, a new receiver 3 in Mullins, and Bentley is still the tight end. He had no movement at all and stays as star dev. Simulate to year 14. See if Caleb can make a Super Bowl before he finally decides to hang up the jersey and call it quits for his career. Great year. 13 and 4, was still 2nd in the division, so we have to go into San Francisco here in the wild card round. We'll take a look at what Caleb did this season. He throws for 4,200 yards and 29 touchdowns, a 110 passer rating. Probably not your MVP. It's JJ McCarthy once again. We'll take a look at his career stats now that we're on to these 1-year contracts. He's at 53,000 yards, 4,828 completions, 398 touchdowns, only 84 interceptions in his career on a 71% completion percentage and a 109 passer rating. Let's see. He doesn't struggle to get out of the wild card round is my thing. He could probably win this game with ease, but he'll lose in the next round. And the Niners have Bryce Young now, so 2023, 2024 first round picks. Number 1 overall picks. It's like I said, we were going to win this game with ease. We're up by 28. We're up by about 35, yeah, like 32-point win. It's like I said, we'll win that one with ease. 376 and 5 touchdowns for Caleb, but now we'll get cooked the next round. Of course, it's Dallas. Yeah, we're cooked. 12 and 5. Mitchell Whitworth, their quarterback, is now their top-rated player. It's time to get cooked in Dallas. This is gonna hurt. I'm gonna hate it. Hate every second of it, but it's probably what's gonna happen. We actually had the lead going into half. Now we don't. It's a 7-point game. Here in the 4th, it's a 4th and 6. I don't think they're gonna go for it. They probably kicked the field goal. They went for it and got the first down. Okay, I should have jumped in. We're now inside the red zone though, down 7, 5 minutes left in the 4th. Caleb has the ball in the shotgun. It's nice seeing that little X under him. Now he's gonna end up handing it off to the running back, who also has an X factor. What a run. Holy shit. Emmett Brooks just tied the game, and now we gotta hope the defense can make a stop and get us the ball back and we can go win it. And the defense let them go right down the field and make a field goal. So now we need Caleb Williams to put another drive together. Caleb comes out in the shotgun. He's got time in the backfield, and he rolls out into a sack looking like Kenny Pickett in 2023. Back in the shotgun, he's got the running back to his left. It's obviously a throw with just about 2 minutes to go. He's dropping back. There's the throw. What a throw into double coverage. Coming out of the 2-minute warning, he's dropping back to throw. He has no time back there, and he like ran right into that sack. We lost 15 yards. So now it's 2nd and 25. The Dallas defense once again ripping us apart as they have in years past. Dropping back to throw once again up the seam, hits the tight end who is wide open for a gain of 23 there. Dropping back once again. He's got time. Into the middle. It's broken up by the middle linebacker. And now that brings up a 4th down where it's either convert or Dallas sends us home for probably the 3rd or 4th time. It's a handoff, and he is going to get stuffed short, and that's game over. We're going home in the divisional round. I called it. Sounded like we hooping out here. We got the ball back. I don't know how we got the ball back, but we did. All right, so now we got 57 seconds and no timeouts. In the shotgun, dropping back to throw. That should have been intercepted if the middle linebacker would have just turned his head. No timeouts, 40 seconds. Caleb's obviously going to be dropping back to throw here. He has a time, gets it out quick towards the sidelines. The receiver is actually wide open and does get out of bounds. They're going to find a way to force us into overtime, huh? He's dropping back to throw once again. He hits the running back out of the backfield. Don't get tackled in bounds, and he does for only a gain of no gain. That's a very bad play. 15 seconds left on the clock. They have to get out of bounds, and Caleb almost gets hit as he throws and has to throw it away. There's now 11 seconds left on the clock. In the shotgun with 11 seconds left, he's dropping back to throw straight to the sidelines. He actually gets a pretty decent chunk of yardage there, but I don't think he got out of bounds, and the game is going to end there. Yeah, so as I said, it was just prolonged a little bit, but Dallas does send us home once again. Caleb threw 317 and 2 touchdowns, but it wasn't enough, and once again, we're going to move on to year 15, and he's once again a free agent. He's back. He's a 90 overall, just like I expected from last season, so he did lose his 2 overalls. He's 36 years old. We'll take a look. He's back on another 1-year deal worth $55 million. Same exact contract as before. 84 overall Brooks now. Cleveland is up to superstar dev. Edwards is now receiver 2. Mullins is receiver 3. That may have been the same as last season. I don't remember. Bentley, the tight end, went up in overall. Brooks had the amazing run in the playoff game, so I'm down to just keep that man. We'll simulate through year 15 now. See what happens. See if we can make it back to the playoffs. We have skills positions that are pretty good, and Caleb has been doing pretty damn good for himself. Back in the playoffs in year 15, won the division. We had the #1 rated passing offense. This might be the year. He might finally win MVP. 4,500 yards, 29 touchdowns to 4 interceptions, a 113 passer rating. It didn't happen. He's all the way. He led the league in passing yards in his 5th in MVP voting. I don't know how this happens, but Caleb Williams is just not meant to win an MVP. It's because it's touchdowns. He doesn't throw a lot of touchdowns. He ends up with 57,491 yards, 5,230 completions, 427 touchdowns to 88 interceptions, 71% career completion percentage, and a 109.4 passer rating so far. So who knows? We're only in year 15. He's a 90 overall still. We could potentially have a lot more years to go. We'll see what they can do against Detroit here, division rival in the wild card round. They have to come into Soldier Field. It's looking like Caleb's luck in the wild card round may have ran out. We were down 10. We're now down 17. Down 11. The game is over there. We lose 31-20. His wild card luck has finally ran out. He threw 291 and 3 touchdowns to go with 1 interception. We'll take a look receiving wise. I mean, we don't really know any of our receivers in real life, but Cleveland, he was superstar dev. He ends up with 79 yards and a touchdown. Mullins, receiver 3, had 68 yards and a touchdown. And now we're on to year 16, where he could potentially call it quits. He's probably going to lose his X Factor following this season because he's going to drop under a 90 overall is my guess. He's also about to be, I think, 38 years old. And Caleb Williams is no longer a Chicago Bear. Did he retire? Is he with another team? That is up for questioning still. 37-year-old Caleb Williams goes on to the Bucks. He is going into year 16. It looks like he might be on a 1 or 2 year contract. I can't really tell. Depends on how much of a pay cut he took going here. Gary Crawford, head coach of the Tampa Bay Bucks. Caleb's all the way down to an 85. We have Tongue here as receiver 1. He's an 81. Jackson at running back. He's an 86. Randall at receiver 2 is a 78. Our tight end is Ballantyne. He is an 86 overall. We have Robertson at receiver 3. He's a 78, and we will see what he can do in his first year in Tampa Bay. His 1 year in Tampa Bay, honestly, he's on a 1 year deal. 9-8 in his first year with the Bucks. 12th rated passing offense. Missed the playoffs barely. He nearly threw 4,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, a 108 passer rating. Probably not MVP. CJ Stroud for the Rams is your MVP. He's not on the list. Career stats, he is up to 61,460 yards, 5,565 completions for 454 touchdowns and 97 interceptions. So if he retires today, he stays under 100 career interceptions. 71% completion percentage and remains a 109.4 passer rating. Just like that, we move on to year 17. He was already down to an 85. If he plays another year, he will probably be down to about a maybe, I'd say an 81. Also, I clicked on the Phil staff thing there, and it was kind of funny that Nick Sirianni was an available option to fill in my staff. So going into year 17, he is no longer a Tampa Bay Buck. We'll take a look at the retirement, see if he called it a career, or if we get to go to another team. League history, I guess we'll see who won the Super Bowl. JJ McCarthy, of course he did. And it doesn't look like he retired. He jumped ship again, so we have another season to watch on another team. We'll go see where he ended up. He is now the oldest quarterback in the league. He is an 80 overall, making $2.4 million in LA. He's an LA Charger. I almost said San Diego. Will Sanders is the current coach of the Los Angeles Chargers. We'll take a look here at adjust lineup, make sure he is the starting quarterback. He could very well not be, and he's not. We're going to change that. He is an 80 overall. I'll get rid of this guy just to make sure that he is. So Caleb Williams now gets to throw the ball to a 93 overall Barlow. He's got Burrow at running back, who's an 80 overall, 83 overall Arrington at wide receiver 2, Waters at tight end. He is an 80 overall, and we'll see what he can do in year 17 as he has regressed down to an 80, and I'm pretty sure he was just star dev. 8 and 9, the 10th rated passing offense. We do miss the playoffs. The Chiefs win the division at 10 and 7. We're going home in year 17, and Caleb Williams' potential final season in the NFL, 4,026 yards, 27 touchdowns, and a 107.9 passer rating. In his career, that's 65,486 yards, 481 touchdowns, 104 INTs. He does end up breaking the 100 INT mark, 5,918 completions, and a 109.3 passer rating. I'm not sure if that puts him in any career records. He just cracks the top 10 in career passing yards. Touchdowns, he is actually in 10th, so if he plays one more year, he'd be up there. They don't have a completion section. That's right. So yards, he's 9th. Touchdowns, he's 10th. And now we go on to the next season, where I don't imagine we're going to have another year of Caleb Williams. I think this is probably where he calls it a career. And there it is. Caleb Williams has called it a career after 17 years in the NFL, so we know he finished 9th all-time in passing yards, 10th all-time in touchdowns. We'll go take a look at the legacy score as we usually do. He ends up 9th all-time. He currently won a couple Offensive Player of the Year awards. We know he never won an MVP. It's that or the yearly awards, could be weekly awards, but he never ended up winning a championship or a Super Bowl or an MVP, but he finishes 9th all-time in legacy score. He had a great career. He goes on into the Hall of Fame. But guys, with that out of the way, I hope you did enjoy. It's nice to be back. Like I said, I'm gonna try and get committed and stay like on a steady schedule for a while again. I mean, hopefully forever from now on. That's the goal, at least one video a week. I can't promise 2 just yet. Give it a little more time. But yeah, thank you all for watching. It has been fun. With that out of the way, I will see you all in the next one. Peace out, guys.